All right, let's get into this story with Max Blumenthal and Aaron Maté. So this is where it all started, ladies and gentlemen. So I did see this tweet from Max Blumenthal the other day. He said YouTube has censored my and Aaron Maté's factual discussion of Paul Mason's secret collusion with the UK state to harass, bully, and relentlessly deplatform us. It has done so on the basis of harassment and bullying. We assume pressure came from the same elements seeking to ruin us. And this is the screenshot you can see here that Max added. And it says this video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. By the way, this is what I was referring to before. They don't really go into detail to tell you exactly what you did or where in the video you said something that they feel is problematic. They just have these categories. They assign you a category and it's just vague. You have to try to figure out what it was that you did wrong, which I think is ridiculous, right? So it goes on to say, let's go down here. So Max went on to add our now censored discussion of hashtag MasonGate can still be seen at Rockfin, and we will have much more reporting soon at the Gray Zone News. So this is another platform where you can see Max and Aaron's work. This is why I highly recommend, guys, that you use different platforms. Okay, so they're on Rockfin too. So luckily they had this backed up onto another platform. I do the same thing myself, but there's more. So Max goes on to show you this. Following my appeal, it seems YouTube has reversed its censorship policy. Has reversed its censorship of our discussion of Paul Mason's state-involved plot to deplatform and destroy us. So they reversed it. But then he goes on to say, however, Aaron Maté's Pushback Show podcast has just been inexplicably disabled by Apple Music. And you'll see the screenshot here. So there's Aaron's show Pushback, and there's a notification here, episode unavailable. This episode is temporarily unavailable from Pushback with Aaron Maté. Again, where's the reason, right? So he goes on, there's more. And YouTube has yanked our hashtag MasonGate video again. So it appears that YouTube removed the video. He filed an appeal. They reviewed it and said, wait a minute, you didn't do anything wrong. Reinstated the video, then came back and took it down again. Welcome to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to YouTube. This is what they do. This is what they do. They removed our video again on suspicious grounds of bullying someone who was working in secret with UK intelligence to destroy us. Some users reporting having the video taken offline in the middle of viewing it. So, I would ask, what is the harassment and bullying? And this is the thing I want people to understand. Most of us on YouTube, we don't actually have someone on YouTube that we can talk to. We just submit a ticket and we get an auto response. But I don't have like a person that I can talk to. So this is probably what happened with Max, whereas they took it down again and they're still giving a vague reason. Bullying. How were they bullying? I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff from the Gray Zone. I don't see bullying. So they'll just pick a random category as an excuse. So he shows the decision here. 1 hour ago, YouTube officially reversed its decision to remove our video. See left, and I'll show you the screenshots in just a second. Then 35 minutes later, it removed the video for a second time on the basis of bullying and harassment, violating its own guidelines in previous decision. An absolute farce. So here's the first screenshot. And it says, we've reviewed your appeal for the following. After taking another look, we can confirm that your content does not violate our community guidelines. Thank you for your patience while we reviewed this appeal. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And there's more hugs and bells and whistles that goes along with that. Then he has another screenshot here where they came back for the same video and they said, our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our harassment, threats, and cyberbullying policy. We've removed the content from YouTube. Here's that video again. We know this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal and we'll take another look. But I want to remind you, they already did appeal it, and the appeal was granted. Then they came back and took it down again. This is what happens when you rely on bots. Do you know how many times this has happened to Hardlands Media, where they've had a video taken down, they go back and appeal it, and then YouTube realizes, you know what? We messed up. You didn't violate any rules after all. We've reinstated your video. That's happened to Hardlands Media within the past year. I'd say about 3 times. And when that happens, I want to explain to people what that means for the creator. When that happens, that means you can't live stream. And for a lot of us, that's really how we make money, is live streaming. Like, I don't really make money off of the clips that I upload. Most of it comes from the live stream. So that messes with your income. It's really messed up. So that was Max sharing that information. And I have more to show you as well, because I want to give you a look at what they were talking about here. Now, I have to be careful what I say, even when talking about this. So they have this report also on the Gray Zone article. Eric, can you put the link to this in the chat so people can read the entire article when they have a chance? There are certain parts I want to point out here, you guys. So again, leaked emails expose Paul Mason's collusion with senior British intelligence agent. Now, I'm only going to point out certain parts because, like I said, there's certain things that I have to be careful what I say as well. On June 7th, the Gray Zone revealed how British journalist Paul Mason planned to wage an all-out war on anti-imperialist and left-wing academics, activists, campaign groups, independent journalists, and media sites, and particularly this outlet. They are coming after people who are anti-war, left-wing, anti-imperialist, and independent journalists. These are the people that they are targeting. And this is not the first time. Again, we saw this happen with Tara Reid, Lee Camp, and Chris Hedges a couple months ago, where they were removed from platforms. Apparently, if you're not for imperialism, if you're not for war, if you might be an activist, they don't really want people to hear what you have to say. So let's go back into the article. There's a part here that I want to show you. So these emails were leaked. We go down here. There's one part in particular that I want to highlight because this is troublesome. This little guy right here, I wish I could make it larger for you, but this just basically goes to show you who they were trying to target. Now, if you look at this map here, there was one person's name who jumped out to me immediately. Medea Benjamin, right here, Code Pink. You can trace her all the way back over to Labor Left. So they have different categories: Muslim community, young networked left, labor left, trade unions, Black community. They're even coming for Black people, Scottish nationalism. But the one that jumped out to me was Medea Benjamin. She's been on here before on the activist panel. She works with Code Pink. She's awesome. She's amazing. She's also anti-war and anti-imperialist. They had her on here. She's probably one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. If you go further down where it says RT and Sputnik, they're tied to Russia here. They have George Galloway. here as well. So I'm not familiar with all of the names on here, but the fact that they put Medea Benjamin on here was very troubling to me. I was like, what? So yeah, they linked her. They had Code Pink. They linked it to Medea Benjamin. If you follow the arrows, they linked it to Stop the War, and they linked it all the way back over to Labor Left. There's something else I want to show you here. And this one is really troublesome towards the bottom. But again, this doesn't surprise me. Like I said, they're coming after certain groups and certain people. And this is why someone like Jackson Hinkle was obviously going to be targeted, because he's not practicing those same talking points as mainstream media when it comes to Russia, Ukraine. Listen to this. They also targeted leftist branding Ukraine, racist clamors for Black and Asian voices to support Ukraine. They're targeting for, like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to show you that part. Black and Asian voices to support Ukraine outright, not just talking about refugee issues. Map and verify the origins of the meme and the involvement of proxies like Ali Vargas. Punch back with facts and arguments. And if you go further down here, this is part of the email. Listen to this. This is what they were trying to do. Finally, fake BLM accounts pile in to say it's all a manufactured white racist op by white liberals. How to respond? Black and Asian voices to support Ukraine outright, not just talking about refugee issues. Here's another one up here. Justifiable outrage at hypocrisy of the West allowing fighters to go to Ukraine but prosecuted, e.g. YPG and Palestine. Here's another one here. Narrative flex. Therefore, everyone who is angry about Ukraine now is following white racist instincts. And do any of them tweet about Yemen and Palestine? Let's do a forensic search and then troll them. You guys see what's happening here? When I told you guys that they have troll farms on Twitter, that they have these DM groups that are targeting people that have a certain narrative, people that speak out in support of Palestine, people that speak out in support of Yemen. When I told you that this was not a game, that they had trolls coming after people, now do you believe me? It's really sad. It's really sad, but I knew that this was happening because how is it if you usually send a tweet, maybe you get 100 replies, a retweet here or there, but as soon as you would tweet something about I stand with Palestine or I support Yemen or what about Yemen, all of a sudden, all of these people come in at you. People that don't follow you, you look at their account, they have like 1 follower or 0 followers. It's suspect. And I tried to tell people a while back, they were targeting for like certain people. So hopefully things get straightened out with Max and Aaron at the Gray Zone, but they're coming after them now. Now they're going to target their PayPal, just like they've done with Jackson Hinkle. And then we have Lee Camp. Lee Camp tweeted this out. The censorship against me continues. It appears Spotify has not only deleted my podcast, Moment of Clarity, they have now deleted my artist profile and my 2 comedy albums from years ago. I was given no warning or reason for this. They have people assigned to take us down. People assigned to take you down. So we need to pay close attention to this. And I will keep talking about this issue until something is fixed. But we got to do something about the censorship.